David Hawkins and Joseph Weiss created a social development model to explain delinquency. This model is based on the integration of social control theory and cultural learning theory. According to social control theory, the weakening, the absence, or the breakdown of social controls leads to delinquency. Cultural learning, or cultural deviance theory, emphasizes the role of peers and the community in the rise of delinquency. So in disorganized communities, youth are at greater risk of delinquency. Learning theory describes the process by which prosocial bonds develop. If juveniles are given adequate opportunities for involvement in legitimate activities and are able to acquire the necessary skills with a consistent reward structure, they'll develop bonds of attachment, commitment, and belief. This diagram allows you to understand how social control and learning theories have been integrated. This model appears to be a very constructive model in developing delinquency prevention programs that are successful. It has linked families, schools, and peer groups as appropriate objects for interventions, depending on the child's developmental stage. This model suggests that intervention should aim to increase the likelihood of social bonding to the family from childhood through early adolescence, and that intervention should seek social bonding through the schools from mid to late adolescence. This model gives communities an empirically grounded basis for designing, implementing, and assessing delinquency prevention programs. Finally, I want to discuss one of the life course theories in the text, cumulative disadvantage. Most juvenile delinquents' lives are very different from middle-class youths. Their lives do not provide for the kinds of well-planned competency-building experiences provided one after another to create successful experiences over the life course. Instead, delinquent youth are often dealing with personal deficits that lead to a series of cumulative disadvantages. For example, some of the research indicates that individuals who begin antisocial behaviors early have individual deficits, such as negative temperament qualities, that often contribute and are adversely affected by parental deficits, such as explosive physical disciplinary styles or low affective ties. This theory contends that over time, parents and children develop an interactional style that results in children who express persistent patterns of oppositional and aggressive behaviors. These types of disorders in a child's life makes delinquent behavior, drug use, and gang involvement more attractive. Involvement in some forms of delinquency make it more likely that a youth will drop out of school, become pregnant or get someone pregnant, be unemployed as an adult, be arrested, convicted, and sentenced as either a juvenile or an adult. The theory of cumulative disadvantage suggests that each negative event in an offender's life tends to limit the positive options that will later be available, and the negative events become a cumulative disadvantage to leading a crime-free life. So, now we've covered the chapters on social process theories. Each of these theories we discuss can be influential on those that make social policy. Many of the intervention programs that are currently being provided for at-risk youth draw from one or more of these social process theories. The next chapter will look at an area that is closely related, social interaction theories.